do you ever have that when you talk to your stakeholders and you really identify the behaviors and then really talk about, okay, this is what we should try to do, that they're kind of left with a like, that's it almost, because it seems so almost insubstantial compared to what they've done before, even though it's probably going to be more effective? Do you ever have that, get that feedback?
All the time, all the time. And I try to help them understand, listen, I understand, especially people who have, like the one your example. When I was at Frontier Airlines, the safety manager,
Yes.
when I talked about dwindling down some of that training, you would have thought I insulted his first baby. It's
Never talk to the compliance officer.
no, no. So it was really bad. And I just helped them understand, like, listen, at the end of the day, one, people aren't doing these things. We're not talking even about the same group that does this, just like you were talking about. And two, even if we were, they're not going to retain this. I mean, Ebbinghouse's forgetting curve keeps me up at night as a talent development professional. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like how much you forget in a very short period of time. What, 50% in 2 hours if you don't practice it, which is
Yeah.
why we need to build in some of that practice and so much more as that month goes on when you're practically forgetting everything. And so when people get frustrated and they come back and say, well, they say they never got training on this, and then the talent development employees are saying, well, we definitely trained them on that. Listen,
It's
nobody's to
on
blame.
slide 45. Come on. It's don't
Exactly.
you remember it?
Of course, look at this right here. It was right after lunch.
Yeah.
But it's just like we need people to understand. Listen, what is your objective? Like, what are you really trying to take away from here? And if you can get really clear on that, then we can really come to an agreement on the best way to do that. Because that's where organizations miss it, in my opinion, is that they haven't learned how to trust their talent development teams yet.
Sure.
We're very much order takers.
Yeah.
One, we allow it to happen. There's fear involved. I've even preached to my teams before and saying, listen, I know that this doesn't make sense right now, but we need to we need to respond to a couple of these asks, and then we can position ourselves better. But then that's a slippery slope as well. But if organizations could start to trust their talent development professionals as consultants and allowing us to tell them what the best approach would be, the game would be different
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
For those talent development professionals that recognize kind of the things that we're talking about here today.